This prod is 12 inches. This is a very effective length. However, I want this prod I'm going to make a little bit longer, so I'm going to make it 14 inches. Mark 14. Dremel cutoff wheel to score this about a third of the way through. Now I'm going to move this with the device. Close the jaws just below the line. This piece that I'm going to make the prod out of, I'm not going to change this with heat because bandsaw is a pretty good spring to it. It has to go around the radius many times. This prod is 12 inches. If the draw length to the nut of 6 inches. However, if you factor in the recurves, it adds about another ½ inch, so 6½ inches of draw length. So this prod exceeds the maximum of half the distance of the total tip to tip for draw length by a ½ inch. And yet it has only taken about 3/16 of set, which is the distance it short of coming back to the straight line that it was initially made at. So set is caused by overstressed limb that takes a permanent bend and will not spring back to its original form. Now, this limb has such minimal set for several reasons, one being that it's somewhat thin and wide, which carries the load better. Also, it's tillering. The well-tillered bow will distribute force evenly across the limb, giving you a nice arc and preventing any one area on the limb from bearing too much force. Now, since this limb is so thin, I can't tiller it by removing material on the belly very easily, making it any thinner. So what I need to do is tiller it from the side. So the most force from leverage will of course be in the middle. Therefore it needs to be widest in the middle and thinner towards the nocks. Now, the way I accomplish this take the piece of steel and what I'm going to do is find the halfway mark. So this is 14 inches overall. Therefore I'm going to take this, put a little mark on 7 inches right in the middle, measure it from the other direction just to make sure. So now that I have my center marked, what I'm going to do is figure the thickness, how wide I want it to be at the nocks. 3/8. Put a little mark on that. I'll make the other knock 3/8. Now what I'm going to do, use a straight edge. I'm going to go from the lowest point in the center up to that mark at 3/8 on the knock. For this, I'm going to use a little piece of carbide disc, and I'm just going to scratch that in just enough that I can see it well. That I have that line scored in. And do the same on the other side. So now I have lines that I can follow with my Dremel cutoff disc. Now I'm just going to score these lines as carefully as possible, because any point that's too weak, if there's a point that's too weak, it will get too much stress there, and that's the point that would form a crack. So I'm going to want to score this carefully along the line as close as possible. Only about 1/3 of the way through the thickness. Take this to the vise, and I'll start at one end. And I'll split the metal down all the way to the center.